I don't know. Maybe I'll click on go live. Maybe.
You think? Might help. What's today?
Tuesday.
We'll
29th.
figure it out. We'll figure it out. Right on the set, boys and girls. Getting ready to go live on the radio.
Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. And no other freaking better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
Man, you're blowing out the mic today. What did you do?
I don't know. Well, I did have to take off my mic over the weekend, had to do some other shit and move things around, so I don't know. All kinds of things happened.
Whatever you did, man, it's off
that?
the chain today. I tell you what.
Well, there was a party at the house. I even had to take down the green screen, make the room look nice and pretty for people.
What kind of party?
Fun.
That's a fun party.
One that wasn't fun enough for me. Let's just put it that way.
Invite-only party. Let's put it that way. If you
was
weren't
an invite.
invited,
If you didn't get an invite, you were not allowed to come.
That's right.
And let's just say I got nothing at this party. Here, I'll even lower the volume.
It's Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. We're coming off the holiday weekend here, and of course, we didn't even get through the intro before we get sidetracked and derailed this sucker today already. So,
no, well, this train is going to be.
This train left the station a half hour ago. That's right.
Yeah,
So,
today is just soapbox day. It really is. Just because over the weekend there several different things happened, and it's something that we are not entirely happy about. How things are being handled and what is actually occurring. So,
well, again, it's questionable as to how this got conceived in the first place. And then this is going to go not only just to this, but several other things that have happened in the past that the only way to describe it is, instead of actually addressing something and fixing it properly, they do something more detrimental as a temporary patch instead of addressing the actual physical problem.
Yeah. And
that's what are you hearing there, Caffeine? What's funky for you? Is Jack blowing you out today?
No, it's not me. What?
I don't know. We're getting some feedback on that
listening?
Audio, so we'll see if we can adjust it here real
I
quick.
don't know.
And,
it's all your fault.
Get it all taken care
fault.
of. That's all.
Some
serious reverb. It's probably Jack.
Well, what he's probably doing is probably listening to Twitch, and then also
he's probably got two
to,
things running and he doesn't realize
yeah.
it. That's probably thank you, Julian. But anyway, where do we want to start this off today? I know we had the weekend update, but we're going to push that off right now because this was very interesting. And of course, a lot of people, let's preface this by telling everybody that with the upcoming expectations of double experience in both crafting and adventuring, people have been hoarding a lot of shit. Is that safe enough to say?
Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, people have been hoarding in anticipation of the double XP, and that was actually recommended to the players by the developers as well. And so people started hoarding things, and then they just tested stuff on QA. And one of them happens to be the only daily quest available right now, which is the Arcane Catalyst.
The Arcane Catalyst quest.
Yes.
Which, I remember briefly hearing about them, and I spend most of my day out stocking vendors, making purchases and trades, and crafting a couple things. So I don't do a lot of this adventuring for all this stuff at the moment. So when I read about what the possibilities were on this, first off, serious flaw, in my opinion, on how it was redundant to do over and over and over and over and over and over. I mean, talk about a printing press, literally.
Yeah, I mean, so the scout quest. You would go into the sieges, you would turn around, kill things, and then you would get catalysts off of I believe it's the siege engineers.
How you doing, Artorius? Yes, you would go out to the sieges.
I can't solo them, so I don't really do it. But
now, funny enough, I was actually out with Justin in one of the sieges. We just decided to play around in one last night as we were passing through one of my towns. Yeah. And we just decided to play for a little while because that's what we were out doing. We were just out playing. But, I mean, I wasn't out doing any of this. And, when 3 Kabbalists showed up on the scene, we hightailed the hell out of there. Actually, we killed one, and then the other 2 were, about to kill our asses. So we got the hell out of there.
So you did the typical Laz thing, and you ran in fear.
Run away!
I'm sorry. Actually, the typical Laz thing would be
that's not the typical Laz thing.
The typical Laz thing is stand there and die.
Leroy Lazarus, man. Come here, man. Let me stick this mace up your...
Yeah, so...
oh, my.
Yes, oh, my. How are you, Arius?
Doing all right.
Yeah, and so some of these players would actually collect a ton of these catalysts, and they're like, hey, you know what, double XP is coming up, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and wait until that comes in and turn them in and double up the quest
and
XP.
Really cash in.
And
absolutely,
because the turn-in quest is 3K per catalyst, but at the same time, the drop rate on those catalysts, it was giving them, thanks to the awesome RNG, a substantial number of catalysts. And so...
according to these guys, a standard siege would give you 18 of these things. Is that what I'm reading? And it's in the initial post.
And so...
18 per siege. Absolutely.
They
absolutely, Dragger. And that's right, Dragger. Hot topics. You only kind of catch this stuff right here because we're the only guys who will address these hot topics and get you guys.
I wanted to ask a serious question, though.
Absolutely. What? Shoot. What do you got?
So in regards to you guys not being on yesterday, and the fact that yesterday, for those of you that didn't know, was International Masturbation Day, and I'm not making this up. You can look it up. Is that why you guys weren't online yesterday?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yes, it was.
Didn't you hear Jack talking about the party in his pants this weekend?
I was. I have to now liberally use Neosporin because of the chafing from yesterday. So
right, gotcha.
Yeah, so
it was a real thing. I just wanted to bring that up. That's a real thing.
It's actually double acting because it sort of acts as a lube while it's soothing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But anyway,
so there's my serious question.
It's 1 catalyst per engineer, 18 per siege if you get all the catalysts. So 6 per quest turn-in. So that's 3 quest turn-ins per siege is possible.
Correct.
And so thank you for Econdis for actually clarifying this because I really don't know because
again,
I cannot solo a siege and I start to and then I run away and then it's like it's not worth it. So it is one where it's like, so that's like 9,000 XP and 600 gold for the
Not
turn.
bad.
Not
bad at all.
Especially when you start comparing it to, because like Lord Takis Farin in this one thread is actually going through that the XP per engineer is 19,000 or 1,925, and loot's about 100 to 200 gold. So that's not counting the marksman, wizards, champions.
Yeah, now
any of
these
that.
guys know this, and
Yeah.
I mean, I just clicked it off there because many of you guys who are understanding what we're talking about, these guys went into the math, and I mean, we understand that, you know, first off, the amount of wood, scraps and stuff you're pulling out of these sieges is already off the chart, and that's done a good thing and a bad thing to the economy, but
No,
it works.
that number has been reduced greatly in the past couple of months too.
And you know, we know that people like going in there, but the numbers that these guys rattled off here, basically, you can go in and just sit there and farm these siege engineers all day long. And if you go on the Longfall, man, the minute you step off the boat on Longfall, half the damn island's on fire.
Half the towns are under siege. Yeah.
So you can sit there and do this till your heart's content all day long. So the experience and the gold that you can generate in these scenes is already a bit of a printing press, as the term is being loosely used here now.
Absolutely, but it's one where, so what actually makes this so controversial is a few people decided they had a ton of catalysts and they decided to turn them all in at once.
Well, let's again preface that. Why did they do that?
Because they saw the changes that were coming out on the QA server,
right.
that this stuff is going to be shut off, and they're limiting to the turn-in to, is it one per day? And
I
that is
believe,
one real-life day, not
well,
one
that's what
day.
Was originally suggested in this thread here. Now, there's a whole separate conversation we're going to address, which is also on this, which has got another thing to do with all this. So, let's look at this from a standpoint of, okay, we gave the players something that they can do redundantly so they can generate some stuff. We figured in this, that, the other thing, and so in any given scene, there's 18 possible, of these things.
Yes,
so now our answer is, let's cut it to one. That was the initial knee-jerk reaction, which got everybody furious, okay? First off, after being told that they got the double XP coming, that they should save up shit like this to stockpile, then to find out that something like this is a knee-jerk, so people go cash it in. What then happens to the people who cash it in because they listened to the advice they got in the first place?
They get banned.
They get banned. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Temporarily.
Temporarily. Yes, but
temporarily. Well, the weird thing is that temporary ban was. I mean, you actually have to go to the Facebook post by Chris in order to see that this was an automatic ban. It wasn't something where they actually were looking at the log saying, "Wait, this is extraordinary," and no, this is something that it was. This is actually was a public post to the Shroud of the Avatar player group on Facebook, where Chris says, "In case my message was removed when I blocked someone on Facebook, I just wanted to give a quick explanation on something. All modern MMOs, at least that I'm aware of."
Yeah, well, I'm not aware of any. What about you?
I'm not either.
Now, I'll address that as well here in a second.
Have some server-based logic to catch gold and XP gains well outside of expected limits. Okay. That is actually tracking that with. That is just some sort of performance metric. Yeah,
I may say yes. We may not ever see that in a game, but the way you're stating this, Chris, is that everyone has this fail-safe that will.
Actually, Valo is actually in my chat, and he is saying that he was auto-banned in several MMOs, so it is actually normal.
You're auto-banned for what, though, Valo?
for
making too
XP
much
and
gold
gold,
and
or
experience?
yeah, when you get over a certain XP or gold threshold, it would trigger that.
First time ever hearing of it.
Yeah. What games actually have a system like that in place? If you would mind clarifying that, and I know it'll take a few seconds.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I'd be
sure
curious.
World of Warcraft does, as part of their anti-cheat, anti-gold farming campaign. Pretty sure.
I've never played WoW. I mean, I played UO. I played Lineage 2.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Rift,
we're
and a
just
few
too old for
others,
any
but
of
yeah.
this newfangled shit, you know.
Yeah, but then it's like, so they have something like this in Shroud, and it recently locked, aka banned, 3 players. They're unblocked within a few hours, except for one of them was for 10 hours. Yeah, are we trying to create more trolls for Reddit? No.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
yeah.
Reddit's like worse than
But
rabbits,
at the
man.
same time, he does say it was a design oversight on their part that is being fixed that allowed it to occur. Ironically,
which
players
is
that
turning in that many at one time. So,
Yeah.
again, knee-jerk reaction is take something that was, and again, I understand it was flawed, but
Yes.
it had really good intentions, but the knee-jerk reaction to cut it to 1 is not right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this goes back to the problem with several of the design elements as they've been implemented. The endless waves of control points, the fact that it's like, hey, we're going to turn around and it's put in this game mechanic. We're going to tell you that, hey, this is a great way to collect XP, but then we're going to go through and we're going to make a massive change to where it's completely
Where you can't
not the way it should
can't
be.
take advantage of that massive XP because we're going to put a limit on it.
But from there, it is one where it's like, okay, so you need to, whenever you're designing these things, you need to be aware, okay, what are the potential exploits as you're designing this system, especially when it comes to daily quests and daily turn-ins? How is it going to be exploitable? And if that is not in your design doc, it really needs to be. Because as soon as you start thinking of, okay, how are players going to abuse this system?
And you know they're going to abuse it.
Because players, that is what players will do in any game. It's, okay, this, and there have been times where we've been told, okay, this is perfectly fine. We want you to go out and do this. Oh, Aeon banned you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Darkfall,
Valo's given us a couple examples. Darkfall banned players for too much gold, which again looks like was their fault. They made the mistake of a mob giving too much of a gold drop. But again, that's not the player's fault. And again, when a game mechanic is built that allows a player to do something over and over, I just don't see how the failsafe should be. I mean, it's a hard call. I understand this, people.
Yeah.
But the knee-jerk reaction one has been, not rectified, but they're now looking at that. So, for those of you guys thinking that it's going to go to 1, they're looking at that. And Chris says that Lum's going to take a look at that mechanic, and they're going to take and see what they can do to make that fair. But this brings me to one of the first major problems we keep seeing over and over, which is when there's something that becomes flawed or something that becomes
poor design. It's poor design
not as
is
intended.
easily exploitable. Yeah. Poor design that is easily exploitable, and that poor design, because it is the quick and dirty. We're not even going to test this. We're just throwing it into.
I wasn't even at that point that the players are pointing out the mechanics weren't even thoroughly tested. I mean, that's another whole argument. But when we see this stuff, the most common thing that happens is that a knee-jerk reaction happens. We get a temporary patch which becomes permanent, which never addresses the final fix and the solution. And we got to start looking at this a little better, folks. That's all I'm saying. Is there's too much going on. And things like this get lost in the cracks if they're not fixed properly, which then, in my opinion, allows for shit to go bad later on because, oh, yeah, let's just fix that like this now, and it'll be okay. That takes care of that. And then 6 months, 8 months, a year down the line, something happens, and that little fix wasn't good enough. And then now you're sitting there with, dick in your hand, going, "What happened?" You know, I mean,
and it's no longer National Masturbation Day, and you're still chafed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is something where it's like, yes, we need quests like this. We need additional quests. We need daily quests. But at the same time, look at how will they be exploited by the players.
Now,
put that in your design.
I want to bring this up as well because part of the conversation was, and one of your favorite things was diminishing returns. Diminishing returns was something we were told was going to be a major part of all this. But when you can just go sit out there and sit in that siege all day long, there's no such thing as a diminishing return. There's got to be something.
The only place I've ever seen diminishing returns implemented was with crafting.
You mean like pulp?
Yeah. I mean, it's one where...
You mean like, cutting down the spawns of mines, diminishing returns? You mean that kind of diminishing returns?
No, that's not a diminishing return. That's just diminishing
thank you.
Possibilities. But diminishing returns was the only time I've actually seen it used was with crafting. The first craft would give you a bunch of XP, and then from there it gets exponentially lower.
Until it's 20 per, 20 per, 20 per, yes. Yeah. And that'll still keep in from time to time.
That is something where it's like I haven't varied my crafting enough to see whether or not that's actually still in play with all the crafting, or whether or not that was something that was removed.
I see it from time to time because I cook, carpenter. I'm a carpenter. I do a little everything. Yeah. So again, from time to time, I'll see one or two bang out with high gains or high draws, depending on whether I'm, practicing or stockpiling and
playing around with something new.
Again, it's diminishing. It leaves quite a bit to be desired.
But yeah, it is something where it's like that was the other thing. Like as you were in a zone, the XP was supposed to decrease and decrease and decrease.
Well, the which idea hasn't been
again,
that.
So that way, it would force you to move
was if you went out to Deep Ravenswood after a round around Deep Ravenswood, things wouldn't spawn as quickly, as fast, until the point where you had to go someplace else to, in order to come back later for it to respawn. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And again, the way around that, let's just pop on into party mode. Let's reset the scene, and boom, there we go, fresh scene. So that never actually kicked in too well.
No, it hasn't. And Lily said, trying to tear up some papers. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at you, Lily.
So anyway, for those of you folks out there who have been collecting these, I would be careful. I would start cashing these suckers in for whatever it is.
I would just pay attention to also how many you're cashing in at the same time, and be aware that there is a limit to what you're going to do.
And again, I've said it several times, and they've surprised me. I says, listen, they're not going to give you the XYZ game mechanics of this, that, the other thing. It doesn't make sense to give you that.
Yeah, don't cash them in too fast. Yeah.
Chris always surprises us, and he does give you the math on how things work and how this works. So why don't they just tell us what the limits are? This way we know where to skirt that, I mean, we know what the upper limits of the atmosphere are. If we want to go play with that up there, let's go play with that. Why don't you tell us where the line is, so if we want to go flirt with that, we can go flirt with that. Because I know there's plenty of you guys out there who like to live dangerously like that. Just an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, thoughts, comments, folks, let us know. I would like to see something that's more, a refined fix than Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like
absolutely.
the concept of them just taking sand out of the sandbox again. Hey, we're going to put stuff in the sandbox. Let's take the sand out of the sandbox.
Absolutely.
It's a sandbox. Like there will never be true balance in this game because characters have had over a year and a half of XP from before launch.
Yeah,
of the
see,
video game.
again, you can
So new
never
players
win
come
that
in,
argument
there
with
will never
me.
be balance.
You can never win that argument with me because every video in the game in the world always has somebody who comes in 5 years late and can turn out to be the best player in the game.
I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with but my point is that the amount of XP in the game is already skewed right from launch, from the official launch. That at this point, if they have a way to legitimately gain an amount of XP and they have something that creates content, then certainly please don't punish players because the argument, like there will be no balance. There will be characters that will have millions and millions and millions of XP more than others, and it's fine. It's just so now we're going to slow them down. Wait a minute, but to what end? Right? To what end? What positive aspect is going to come from that is kind of my question. I don't think that anything
That's
positive from nerfing is going to from that kind of a nerf is
Well,
going to happen.
Like Valo says that the reason they want to reduce the number of items in the economy. Yes, there are way too many items in the economy. The drop rates are still too high for a lot of things. You end up with just way too many people that have way too much stuff, and it's one where we do not have the player base to really support what they're visualizing for or envisioning for the healthy game economy. And until we have like tens of thousands of active players every single day, we won't have that. And since we're dealing with a couple of thousand, like pretty much hardcore players, they've got so much stuff and they're able to churn out so much gold items, materials, that the economy is extremely imbalanced. And until they find a way to actually address those issues, there's going to be massive tweaks.
Yeah, now
And
the economy...
the crappy part is, like, if I go out and I kill a bunch of players and I'm not getting any drops, I'm going to be pissed.
I'm not too
And
concerned about the economy, personally. The economy seems
Yeah.
to take care of itself for the most part. And again, that's a numbers thing. More people playing, the economy gets a little bit more fragile, a little bit more interesting. Right now, I think we know what sells, what don't, where it sells, where it don't. And there isn't much question about, if you want to get rid of XYZ, you sell it here. If you want to buy XYZ, you go there. And, I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Anybody got any other thoughts and comments on that? Feel free to drop us a line. Join us in chat here, of course, today. You guys know where to find us. If you don't, then you're listening on the radio. You can join us in Discord. You can join us on Twitch chat. You can join us in game. So
the amount of XP from Adventure Level 1 to 100 is 137,410,746.
46. That's right.
Thank you, List.
746. Congratulations, Econis. Adventure Level 100. Yay.
Woohoo.
Yes, and thank you for List for providing that number.
Providing that, yes.
So,
Yeah, eventually it's going to get better. It's as soon as they start adding more dailies, start looking at, okay, how are these going to be exploited, and then start refining those, because you have to remember, players are assholes. Everybody's an asshole, especially designers. Yeah. Oh.
So now the next gripe out there comes from one of our players, and I actually misread this. Got in on the conversation, and of course, I had a momentary
Brain fart?
old timer's disease. Yeah, I misconstrued static and dynamic for a brief moment. And I'm like, and I misread it. The guy said he had picked this town and decided on it, and I was like, well, dude, if your town's in game, but apparently not yet. But
well, yeah, I would say it's not.
Are you ready to tackle this one?
Well, might as well. I mean, player-owned towns.
POT.
Time to deliver, Portalarium.
Static POTs.
Yes, and this is a reference to static. And Master Velo wants to know what List is actually working on and to articulate what he means by PvP. So Malcor purchased a holdfast in 2015 with the promise of having a fully customized town, which means, hey, you get to sit down with the developers, have a short meeting of, okay, this is what I'm envisioning for this town, and then the developers would sit there and say, okay, let's go ahead and go develop this thing, and then it would be there. And that includes the number of houses, what types of houses.
Now, yes, let's delve into this a little bit, because I'm curious about the people who are still waiting for this reward. Now,
well, we'll get to that in a little bit, because that actually becomes part of a response to Star's response.
Well, first off,
because
my big question is why, with all the craziness of how you can, people, want to change things. I can't tell you, people who started with a row lot now wanted a village lot, went up to a town lot. They want to move their lot. They want you to twist the lot. Well, when you get a static town, once those lots are placed, that's it. They never move again. If you have 5 row lots, 10 town lots, 1 city and 1 keep, that's it. You're done. So I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on that. So this is what this guy is sticking for.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's actually
also reduce lag greatly in a town, though, if everything is static and locked. So that would be a positive.
No,
on the loading of the scene.
Everything in a dynamic template is static and locked till you start placing lot deeds. The only thing that isn't in a dynamic town is the lot placement, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, okay, so for instance, like the streets, the walkways, the putting up lanterns down the walkways,
he can still
all
do
the
that
decoration that people can do. That shouldn't happen in a static. That shouldn't happen in a static town. In a static town, well.
The static town still has to load all the shadows. It still has to load all the textures. It still has to. But when it's
built as part of the scene itself,
you're not understanding areas. Your dynamic town scene has roads in it. His static scene has roads in it. You can still add your own roads to either scene. So it just depends on what.
Point being that a static town shouldn't be able to you shouldn't be able to add anything to it because it's static, and it should, like that road would literally be built into the town in the way that it's carved out and done,
that's why I made this clear.
Piece by piece by piece.
That's why I made that clear up front. The only thing that really is the lots. Okay, the lots can't ever be moved.
No. In a static town, it is a static town. The player does not have the ability to change anything within that static town.
You mean they can't place a lamp? They can't place a chair?
No.
They can't? No, I don't believe that.
Once it's been, you'll be able to place it on a lot, but you won't be able to modify the town.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So a static town is a static town. It is completely baked. It would be like a player-run town or one of the uncloned scenes. You'd own that scene, but you would not be able to change it. So it is something.
List says player decos dynamic no matter what the map you put it on.
There are 0 static towns in game right now.
I understand that.
Because not one of them has actually been built.
I understand that.
Every single town in the game right now is a dynamic town.
Okay, I understand that.
NPC towns are static.
But again,
Yeah, but
Liz just told us that player deco is dynamic, no matter what the map.
But
is
some of
put
it
on.
doesn't have to be deco. That's what I'm saying. It's like into list. Like take this road right out here off the lot.
Right.
This road was not placed by a player. It's not composed of small little pieces that
I understand
that we lay down. This is actually painted onto the ground.
I
As
understand
such, that loads much quicker than in a town, and then you have to
you
on
come
top
out
of
to
it
Journey's
layer on
End,
other
and my dynamic roads are the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's got nothing to do with the roads. Again, you're missing the whole point there. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, you won't be able to do anything.
Again, Liz just told you differently.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't talking about the lots. I was talking about the town itself outside of the
Yes,
lots.
it comes
Sorry.
with a road. All towns come with roads, dynamic or static. It doesn't matter. Liz is sitting here telling you this. He's a developer, and you're still arguing with the man.
I'm not arguing. I'm attempting to explain where I'm coming from.
But you're wrong, is what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter. You can still place
both
deco that's going to slow it down. My dynamic map is static, except for I can place my lots. I can't change the roads. I can't change. Anyway, moving. Right
Okay.
Point.
Do I need to go find Star's post that static
we get into
means
this.
static, which means you cannot change a fucking thing once it's been designed?
Right. You can still place deco. Liz
No.
just told you that.
No.
Liz just told you that.
There are 0 static towns right now. Every single town is dynamic.
So
When Star said a static town is a static town, they have placed every single one of the houses. They have placed all the deco. They have placed everything. And from there, in order to change anything in your town, you would actually either have to upgrade it or turn around and pay them the additional customization fee to change something.
Okay, well, let's get the Stars post here. Let's see where it says that.
That is what. So it's like you would not be able to do decorated after. All construction will be done off the base template. Requests for other maps as base templates, they're unlikely to find they're suitable for POT construction to size or space limitations. So we'll make every attempt to get as close as we can to your customization constraints as possible. But once you chose static and we began construction of your plot, you can never convert the custom static to a town to dynamic. It will permanently be static. Property lots work completely differently in static scenes versus dynamic scenes. And now that they are persistent, they cannot change existing static lots to dynamic lots. And change requests, if you want to make changes to your town after it is in-game, you will need either upgrade or to a larger town size or pay for those changes. Charges will be determined based on the scale of the change requests. Some requests cannot be made at all because of persistent. So when that terrain is been baked in and it is static, it is static. You will not even be able to place deco.
Okay. So, guys got a bank box full of statues, all sorts of shit that they got to put placed beforehand. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, see, List is telling you different again. Again, I understand.
But at the same time, 0 static pots have been
on
built.
your lot.
0.
Well, I know you
0.
can place it on your lot, Liz.
Yeah. You can definitely place it on your lot. You can place anything you want on your lot.
So then let's get this straight.
And the lot locations are
Once you
also
have a static
predetermined.
town, you can't even place a bench anywhere else in the town unless it's on a lot. Is this what we're
Correct.
saying?
Correct. You can't place a street lamp. You can't place a wooden boat out by the dock. You can't place anything unless it's on a personal lot, period, dot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're only going to have
like
about
an NPC town.
20 towns
So,
like that.
so think of it as like building castle walls. You want to put a walled section of your town. That is just deco, right? Because you know what? I've got 7 things of castle walls that I need to sell, but you would not be able to place those. It actually make that 8 things of castle walls. Because I forgot, I also have the gray from.
You got suckered into that one.
Yeah, I've got. I should never have bought those. But yes, so you would not be able to actually do that. So you would actually have, if you even look at Star's post where someone actually poses that hypothetical, depending on how big an area the wall encompasses, that might be free with the upgrade, but they have to evaluate that.
Where are you getting all this information from? It's not in his post on this.
Dude, I linked you to the post that Star posted, man. I put it in Discord, didn't I?
Oh, you didn't mention it.
Static player-owned town policy statement.
And when was this done? This was what?
2016, because that was the last time that they really did anything. Hey, don't lawyer me, bro.
DLMB, that's right.
That's right. But Star's post today, or yesterday, today at 9:30 this morning, is he understands the frustration of someone waiting for a static POT and that they haven't done anything with it. Yeah, they're working on uncloning scenes. They're working on doing everything else to try to get everything else, and it's taking them longer. You only have a few world builders, and those few world builders have a very limited amount of time. They failed to anticipate the level of interest players would have in this feature, and when 10 times the number of people showed up, they had to pivot. So they focused on providing a set of tools for owners to dynamically update and change the town for themselves using templates that they could choose from and change at will.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't change anything at will.
You can't change it at will.
No.
You change it for a fee. You can sit and wait to change it, but you can't change it at will. Let's get that.
You can't even change from PvP to non-PvP at will.
Now, I'm going to say that he probably meant that you can change the landscape at will. But yes.
Well, the lot placement at will.
Yes.
You can change where you're placing the lots, but you can't change the template.
You can't change the templates at will, because we can do that. We need to talk. I need some changes done.
Yeah, they felt that this would provide the most flexibility and power to town owners, and at the same time keep our small team focused on world building for the story. This meant that any work on static towns had to be placed on hold until they completed all the world maps first. Now, this comes down to number of scenes that are currently in the game is over 300, of which there are about 120 that still need to be uncloned. If they're averaging 3 per month in the next 2 years, they might be able to get through all the uncloned
which needs to be done before release of episode 2, which we need to build new lands for, which we need to build new towns for. When are these towns ever going to get time to be put into the game?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm just doing some basic Shroud math here. So,
well, then the statement that actually irks me is happily 97% of the town owners have embraced the dynamic model. Bullshit.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say embrace.
Okay. No, at the same time, they have sat there and said, you know what, this is the best that's going to happen, because the amount of time it takes before my custom built player owned town is in the game is to be determined, and that's going to be 2 to 3 years down the road. So I just have to go with dynamic.
I wasn't willing to wait. That's really what it came down to.
Yeah,
I got 3 towns
Can you switch it back to static?
No, you can't switch it.
No.
You
have to pay a fee.
$20.
Well, yeah, and according to the you can switch 50. One way, but you can't switch the other way. I don't believe that.
You have to pay fees.
You mean I can change my dynamic for a static?
Pay a fee? You can.
but not the other way
That's okay.
around.
Easy way to unlock your template is always to upgrade it.
So you can use dynamic for now and then go back to static later.
Well, again,
Well,
didn't you just read that statement where once you've made the choice, you can't do that ever? Or did I miss?
That's what I was asking. I don't read anything.
I think List has had it at this
Yeah, I
point.
know. List just died.
List is like, you're killing me, Smalls. Yeah. But yes, it is something. I don't own any towns anymore, so it doesn't really affect me. But I do know Laz owns 3 towns. I do know people that own upwards of all the bricks stuff. We had several players that actually got so frustrated that they essentially pretty much quit the game after selling all their stuff, after arguments about player-owned towns with Portalarium and their custom-built towns that were supposed to be completely custom.
Hey, that's how I got one of my third towns. That's how I
Yeah.
got my third town. Somebody said, I had it.
Yeah,
You want to buy this cheap? And I did. So anyway.
and you did, yeah.
Here's a
But
balanced town for
if you do
$600.
have any questions about your custom static player-owned town, you do need to message Star, and he will eventually do something with it.
Yes, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns,
Message Star,
they ask that you message him.
and then from there, it's
It's a white wedding.
Well, so yeah, Valid does come up with the question: what do you think is needed right now?
As to
Fix static towns or fix game mechanics to make the game more pleasant to more people. It's definitely fix the fucking game.
yeah,
That
fix
that
the
is
mechanics.
fix the game.
Finish
But
getting in
I-
all the promised pledge items.
I think the answer to that is about $3 or $4 billion and a hiring of a multiplication of a team times what they currently have times
Well,
about 8.
Well, yeah,
We
And
can
then
wish,
we
wish.
can get some stuff done.
Don't
And
fix your face.
and so that's not going to happen, right?
And,
you know?
Yeah, the other thing is really to essentially you end up assigning one world builder who is given a short amount of time of, okay, you have 8 dev hours to customize this one player-owned town, and then you're going to be doing custom static towns based off of the template, and then, okay, whatever kind of customization. Because, well, realistically, that's what Star is actually alluded
Next drink's
to.
on me, Liz. Next drink's
yeah.
on me, buddy.
Yeah, that 8 hours of customization time doesn't get you a lot of customization. It really doesn't.
Yeah, it gets you, hey, I want my town to look like, okay, you're done.
Yeah. It's like, okay, on to the next one. I built your custom town.
Yeah. It's player template, island 01A, turn north. Yeah, again, I got questions about that. I mean, are they going to use those base templates? Because we know they're being used for a million other things, but we'll see how that goes.
If you own a player-owned town and you're hoping for a static player-owned town, I would go ahead and set it up as dynamic and say, this is not going to happen in the near future. And it doesn't matter how much you bitch, because the devs have too much stuff on their plate right now. You have to remember the dev team is only like 30 people on a good day, and you end up with those 30 people only...
On that side, we know that
3 of them spend their days doing
3
world
guys knocking out 3
Yeah.
scenes a month, each one doing a scene, and that's a pretty tremendous task as
Yeah.
it is for these guys.
And the uncloning of those things, of those player-owned towns, takes them at least a month.
Yeah.
And if you start thinking
Here's
that,
to you, Liz.
okay, they've got 50 different player-owned towns to make static and customize, it's not going to be possible. List.
Oh
we
yeah, I
wish we
mean,
had
you guys
longer,
would
too,
like to have
on
several
every
months.
single map. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
and we'd
then you
love
can
to
really tweak
have
them.
you guys
Yeah.
have several months. Don't get us wrong.
But at the same time, it's like we you have to create enough variety, and I love the fact that you're using real world inspiration for a lot of these, and trying to do that. But you have to look at the reality. 3 people are working on uncloning scenes. 3. And every single month they are tasked
And
with,
they deliver,
you have
they
to
deliver,
you
they
have
deliver.
to you have to unclone either a player run town, or you're doing an adventure scene, or you're doing something else. And when you start going through, it's like, okay, they haven't even gotten back to the Hidden Veil yet. It's going to take them forever.
Oh, let's not even start. First off,
yeah.
Lum hates the Hidden Veil, but that's another whole show. We'll get back to that, of course.
And,
we're covering these topics because these are the topics that you guys are talking about out there, and they're hot topics that concern a lot of you folks out there. And again, you won't.
It really is a manpower issue. Yeah.
You won't hear this discussed in many other places where we'll sit down and hash it out, because we are the only show here inside Shroud the Avatar sits down and addresses your concerns, talks about the realities of what's going on, and gives you the breakdown on how that's going to happen. Of course, if we get new and updated information and we don't give List a heart attack or an aneurysm between now and then, we'll bring you more updates. I know, we do every day.
So the funny thing is, you have to remember that a lot of the inspiration for these guys does start out as the stick figure drawings, like Lord British did for character creation, which is also on. And so Lord British designs these stick figures. Okay, this is what I want. And then from there,
that come off of
Dennis Loubet's.
Dennis Loubet, what the artwork. Yeah, let's bring that up real quick.
Then it becomes something like this. And
actually, we get back to this tomorrow. We are running very short on time.
I already showed it because I'm the man. I got. That stuff
no, I want to show both the whole post and all
both those pictures.
Stuff. Yeah, I want to show the whole post and everything. Remind us to get back to that tomorrow. But yes, real quick, we got to tell you about that wonderful app that we have out there. The NBNN Shroud the Avatar app, available on the Google Play Store, the Amazon App Store, or the Apple iTunes Store for all your electronic devices. Even Lord British uses it. Great stuff in the app, including the NBNN Shroud the Avatar calendar, brought to you every day by Hometown Hero. Of course, we're not going to read off all the streamers, because Jack's not on it and he's pissed off.
I'm still not on it. But that Shroud of the Avatar NBNN Shroud of the Avatar community calendars on nbnn.info. Click on the calendar button, and then from there you go to the that little down arrow beside that, and then you could unclick streamers, and so that way you can actually read what's going on. Remember, today is Taco Tuesday, all times on the community calendar, Central Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as Nude Britannia time. And just because I hate people that have multiple shit on multiple calendars, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the. Oh wait, where is this one? Which calendar is he on?
You know what to skip.
I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to fucking uncheck that calendar every single day.
It's the PP calendar.
You know what? If you have a Google public calendar related to Shroud of the Avatar, and you want Laz to link the NBNN Shroud of the Avatar community calendar, or if you want to add events to the NBNN Shroud community calendar, you need to email that guy news@nbnn.info. Eventually he'll do something with it, and I may or may not read it off depending on how I'm feeling. But if you tip me, it's much more likely. Oh yeah, tip jar's over there. Monday through Friday, 12s and 6s around the clock. If we feel like doing a show, 2 idiots interpret the news, so you don't have to own a little show called Lunch with us. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, you can always join Sean Silverfoot and learn all about the Pax Lair community of towns, or ask Sean Silverfoot anything about Pax Lair, and that is the Pax Lair Town Manager Hour. At 3 o'clock is the EVL Euro Dungeon Crawl. That's going to be headed up by Wintermute of Koff. At 7 p.m., James Thunder of EVL is going to be doing his Thunder Dungeon run. And if that's not your thing, and you'd really want to go play around in Chillblain's Compendium of Pain and Suffering, where you listen to Lunch with Laz and Jack over and over again, you can go join the Jade Dragons. Message Malhari for more information. 7 o'clock on Radio Free Britannia is the 70s at 7, and the final event of this Taco Tuesday is also on Radio Free Britannia, and that is the Record Room.
Yay! That's right. Don't forget you're watching Lunch with Laz and Jack right here on NBNN.info, twitch.tv/Genesis, twitch.tv/NBNN News. Of course, you can catch us on YouTube and replays, listen to us on the radio, and of course, catch our podcast in the app. You can become a patron at patreon.com. You can catch all of our past audio podcasts available for you for being a patron. So if you missed a show and you want to go back and listen, you can do that. Very fun. Become a supporter today and play for a cause. We've got a cause for you coming out, and we'll be telling you more about that tomorrow. SodaCon Austin 2018, folks. 2 tickets as of this morning left. 2 VIP tickets left. If you want that VIP experience, get out and get those tickets now. There's only a pair left. Also, we got a major announcement coming, how you can win a pair of tickets to SodaCon. We'll be telling you more about that upcoming as soon as I've got that nailed down. Hometown Hero for your e-juice needs. If you're looking for your vape juice needs to get taken care of, you want to save some money, and you want to support a small independent over in Austin, hometownhero.com is where you got to go. Use the promo code NBNN. You'll save 20% off your purchase at hometownhero.com. Coil More Wands, putting the magic in your hands. Scrota's Music Service, putting the magic and music in your ears. The Britannian Mining Company, putting all those commodities in your pockets. All you got to do is go down and shop Black Rock Cove, located in the Quell region next to the town of Exeter. RelicsByRill.com for all your licensed Strategy Avatar swag. And yes, it's fixed. Use the promo code NBNN. Save 10% when you check out at RelicsByRill.com. He actually wanted us to use Listen to NBNN. I said, dude, we're a video. I says, Listen to NBNN just doesn't make sense. Plus, I've got 4 of the promo codes.
Wait. What's the promo code now?
NBNN. I had him change it back. Anyway, and ShroudMarketplace.com. Yeah, he says, yeah, use this. I got a great one for you. Listen to NBNN. I says, dude, everything else is NBNN. Yeah, NBNN promo code. NBNN promo code. NBNN promo code. You think they're gonna remember to listen
got that
to?
Fixed.
Anyway,
nope.
What?
Hey, but ShroudMarketplace.com. You can always use go visit Laz's shop at Shroud Marketplace and use the discount code of NBNN and save 10% off of Laz's shop.
That's
Weddings
right.
and More by Laz.
You go up there, click on the coupons, and check out the coupon for my store. I think I'm the only coupon out there in the store.
Yeah, you're the only coupon right now. Yes.
That's right. Save 10%.
But you have to click on vendors.
You check out at my store.
But you know what, Shroud Marketplace, anything and everything game related, over 115 different players registered as vendors at Shroud Marketplace. You know what, as a vendor at Shroud Marketplace, you get to put whatever you want that is game related up for sale. You get to maintain your own inventory, and you get to set your own prices and write your own descriptions, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you look at some of the latest stuff from Dread Pirate's shop, where he's got gold ingots, iron ore, pine resin, all kinds of stuff. I mean, Dark Star Dagger, anything and everything Shroud of the Avatar related.
How much for a dagger?
$5 from Skaggy Medias.
Not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything and everything. You know what? It's like if you want to start selling your stuff for cash, register at Shroud Marketplace. Register at Shroud Marketplace. Put the stuff up for sale. Put it in a chest in game, somewhere where you're not going to touch it. Don't put it on a player vendor. And then from there, if it sells, you know what? You just made some cash. And you know what's even better than that? Anything
getting paid as soon as you sell that stuff.
That's right. You don't have to wait a week for someone else to do a payout. You get harassed by some asshole that will sit there and say, "Hey, did you deliver this stuff yet?" But yes, anything and everything from
You
accounts to
got
game
order.
board.
Make delivery now.
That's right.
Look
All
for
the way
those
to
special
the-
sales.
Yeah, you can watch those special sales like Arius did with his $5 custom wands.
That's right.
right.
Yeah, that was
$5
awesome.
custom-made
Did a
wand
good. That
sale.
was a good day.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you
it's like I'm
generate?
waiting for you to do it again, but I'm pretty sure that you have to go do a ton more farming because I was watching parts of your stream where you're like, I got to go find a vendor to go buy stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta go find some wood, man.
Yep. Hey, I need those boots of skulking. Buy them for me. But anything and everything, don't forget to visit my shop at Shroud Marketplace. Remember also to cheapest teleports and recall scrolls on Shroud Marketplace.
I don't know about that.
Guaranteed not to fizzle.
10% off makes them, I think, a penny cheaper than yours.
No, not even. Crafting consumables. Let's go, or let's just do a search for scrolls, and then let's see.
$4.99. Take off 10% makes it $4.48, don't it?
No, not even. Cheapest without a promo code. Shroud Marketplace. Right,
Oh yeah,
right
thank
here.
you. Without a promo code, that's right. You want to
You know what?
some money on recalls?
Guaranteed not to fizzle. That guy has to sell fizzle insurance. I'm sorry to say it, but
I sell
yes,
fizzle
Shroud-
insurance on your scrolls. I tell
No,
you,
you
I
don't.
make
Yeah,
a
you
killing
sell-
on it.
you sell fizzle insurance on your own scrolls. That's what it is.
Anyway,
But yes, it is time for us to get out of here and thank everybody for watching. We will be back tomorrow if we feel like it.
that's right.
thank you for
It's,
watching on Twitch,
we're the show
YouTube, or
that's
listening
here
on Radio
5
Free
times a week,
Virginia.
except for the days that we're not here 5 days a week, which was this week and last week. And is it going to be next week as well? I think next week is going to be a short week as well.
Yeah, well, I fly out on the 8th and return on the 11th.
So we're going to have a couple short weeks then. Yeah.
Shh, don't tell people. but my arm might be completely decorated. It's
Yeah.
not decorated enough. But
You
yeah.
might even have a sunburn on your. Yeah. Anyway, all
I
right,
might go-
folks,
I
we
might go
gotta
to a
get
beach.
out of here.
Don't
It's,
forget the lotion on his hands from yesterday.
That's right. We'll be back with more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happenings, the latest hijinks and shenanigans right here on the NBNN lot. Till tomorrow, I'm Laz,
I'm Jack.
and we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.